But we psychologists were thinking so much in an individualistic way. Our psychology was all about, individual development and growth and personal growth and things like that. And as therapists, we didn't know what to do when a husband and a wife were fighting it out in our office, We just wanted to stop that, and eventually say, well, how about if I see you separately? All right? Because nothing is working. When the conflict's going on, nothing works. And then you get to hear their stories then individually, and you start to make sense from the wife's point of view. Oh yeah, between this and this and this, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how you can stand living with this guy. Why don't you just get on with your life? This starts to become the way you think as a psychologist. If you just see each one individually, why not just, okay, get on with it, maybe you'll find somebody else, and so on and so forth. This was, I'm painting a little bit of an extreme picture. In my case, I wasn't so much that way. I really believed in marriage, but I did have a hard time finding a way for this couple to stay together in a peaceful way. So as therapists, we weren't much help for marriage. We probably did help the individuals. A lot of people said they had satisfaction from their therapists, but their marriages still broke up. Right? Now, there's been a turn in the last couple of decades, a real development in this field which I'm in, a revolution. And we're starting to see that there's a psychological purpose in marriage. A psychological purpose in the commitment of one to another. All right? That we all grow up in this difficult way that human beings grow up. As I've said, we are a long time with our parents. We need our parents. We need that nurturing. We need that education. We need that socialization to survive in this complex world, which is the human world. It's not a natural world. It's a human, social world with lots of traditions, lots of institutions, and we have to learn how to be in this world. And it's painful to grow up into this world. All right? We may not remember it, but there's a lot of things about socialization which goes against our brain and our desires as children. There's something, I believe, inherently painful, that even if you have very good parents, it's going to be somehow wounding in some ways to our psyche as we grow in to learn all of these ways that we have to learn as adults. That's in the best case scenario. Parents are far from perfect. In this complex development of bringing their children into this world, they get upset themselves very often. They also have trouble with their partner, which affects the children. So there's a lot of wounding that goes on of the children. If mom and dad have a fight, the children fear, get scared. Right? Mom and dad are like God to a child. And we need our mom and dad. We die if we're not looked after. So we start to feel this is a matter of survival. So these feelings go very deep. If our parents are angry at us, it's the same kind of thing. Oh, God, what have I done? I must be this, I must be that, and so on. It's really hurtful and confusing. So we do our best and we learn to survive, but we bring into our, when we grow up, we bring into our relationships, when we eventually have them, wounds from our childhood. Things that we neglected to develop because it was maybe not okay to develop. So there's a lot of hurt around close, intimate relationship, because the relationship between parent and child is a very intimate one, which, as I said, also, we feel it as a child is absolutely a matter of survival, of life or death. Very close and high intensity, much like a marriage. Now, we enter the world of relationships with men and women as we come into adolescence and we start to have these drives, attraction. And we carry this baggage. Unconsciously, what we're looking for is healing. Unconsciously, we want to heal our wounds. We want to get the nurturing that we may have missed. Right? This is what we're looking for in a partner. Somebody who's going to make it all right for us. That's a high order. Right? But we're really yearning for this. And when we find somebody that starts to echo some of the familiarity and goodness of our parent, we become attracted to them. They start to fit an image of what we really want. And that's just the start. We finish that image with a projection that if they have this, they've probably got it all. They're going to look after me. This is going to be my beauty. This is everything I want. This is romance. It feels perfect. But the perfection comes from a massive projection. Okay? Projecting onto this other that they are the ones who are going to look after us perfectly. And it feels like that during the romantic period. Unconsciously, there's another fit that is going on. And that is, they fit also our parents in a negative way. All of the things that were hurtful from our parents, all of what our parents withheld or didn't give us in terms of nurturing, is somewhere there as well. And this may sound crazy, but all of those things are part of the romantic attraction, unconsciously. And when the romance ends, all right, science tells us romance ends. The romantic phase comes to a close. Because the hormones and chemicals that are pumped into our blood system during romance come to an end. Either they come to an end or the receptors dull. So it's got to somehow end, physiologically. There's a shelf life to these chemicals. All right? And when it happens, there's also psychological things that can bring it to a premature end. All right? One of the things that helps to bring it to an end for many of us is making a commitment. When we fall in love, we are saying yes to this person. This person is everything I ever wanted. There's magic. Okay? There's magic to romance. But and this magic can lead us to take this massive step to say, you're everything I want. I only want you forever and ever and ever. Will you marry me? Right? It can lead us to take this step, which our egos would not take otherwise. Without romance, our egos would say, you've got to think about this. This is complicated. A commitment for life with one partner and no to all of the rest of the possibilities. Okay. Egos have a hard time with that kind of step. But romance can push us over the edge. But as soon as we make a commitment, our egos start to think, okay, what have you done? Okay, you're talking about life. this person out? Is this person really everything you want? What about this? What about that? Maybe I better look carefully here. And other parts of our brain start to kick in. Okay, so commitment can start to bring romantic feelings in. Once we are committed, once we're in marriage, very often honeymoons, which are touted to be a very romantic, nice, beautiful occasion, Niagara Falls or something. Statistics show 65% of honeymoon experiences are very negative. All right. Yeah. High expectations of romance and, well, things, we're close now, things are not, well, exactly as we wanted them. And this moves us into another whole other phase in our relationship, which is characterized by different psychologists in different ways. One way of characterizing it is a power struggle, because our egos come out now, bigger time. And we start to question this other person. And we start to have conflict with them, either overtly or in our minds. We start to think negative things about them. And this is when couples come in to see people like me. I thought I loved this person. I thought this person was this way, but look at them. They do this and this and this and this. And they're driving me crazy. I thought I knew them. You know? I thought they were loving and good and caring and